on my recording device. All right, so we're live now. Hold on.
Okay.
Wet ass.
Whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this house. There's some whores.
Welcome to the Difference Is You show, and we're here with Darren. Darren wasn't really expecting to be recorded today, but nor has he even agreed yet because I've given Darren the option at the end of this episode to say no, Omar. This is full of shit. I don't want anything that we've discussed to be live on camera. Darren, why don't you introduce yourself for the audience and to me because I barely even really know you. Maybe just tell me who you are and what you're doing here, but you probably don't know what you're doing here, but just introduce yourself for me.
Okay, well, I'm Darren and I live in Temple City in California, in
All
the
right.
San Gabriel Valley area.
Okay.
And lately I've been basically starting up my own food sales.
Okay.
It's part of my overall plan to be in the to work in the realm of food.
Okay. Okay. Well, before we get fully started, why don't you just give yourself a shout out? If people are interested, right, later on, you haven't even told them what you sell yet, but if they are, or if they're just feeling a little love in their hearts and they're willing to go give you a follow on Instagram, what's the best way to find you and your new food service startup, Darren?
Well, right now my Instagram for my business is cafe d dot wait no underscore official. So cafe d underscore official, and that's my Instagram.
Okay.
My Facebook page is
Cafe D, just the letter D,
yeah,
underscore official.
and
All
then
right,
the
easy enough.
face.
We'll put the links down in the
Okay,
description of the video. Okay, and then what else?
Facebook is cafe d dot official.
Cafe D dot official. Okay, easy
And then
enough.
I have a website now, or it's in development, but it's live, but
Okay.
not totally finished to what I want right now. And
Okay.
that's just eatcafed.com.
Eatcafed.com. Just as you spelled it.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't make any promises, but is going over that website something that might be of benefit to you throughout this episode? The only reason I say I don't promise is because I'd like to pull it up. It's not hard actually. I'll pull it up, put it on so it's recording, so and then we can look at it in real time with you, with me, and the audience. But something I have for maybe later in the segment if that's something you want to do.
I'm open to that.
Okay, okay. Well, let me just kind of brief the audience for how Darren and I met. We met in this group on Facebook called Asian Hustle Network, and I had offered to give free marketing help to anybody that asked, and Darren was one of them. And coincidentally, he actually lives very nearby. I mean, Temple City is. I mean, we'd still have to drive a little bit, but of where we could have been, right? Like Asian Hustle Network, I could have been in LA, you could have been in Taiwan, for example, or at least anywhere else in America, right? Where you just happen to be, within 20 minutes drive of each other. Like literally Temple City I could drive local, like right down Valley.
It's like
And
maybe 10, 15 minutes
yeah,
away.
no, I mean, so we're pretty much as close as it could be, right? So anyways, that was interesting. And so, on the same token, I'm probably more able to help you in a way where, like, I could literally say, "Hey, bring some of your dishes, and I'll donate my videography or photography skills." Even though I'll be honest, those are like low on my totem pole of skills. I'd say photography, videography is more like recent passionate interests of mine. I might be better than the average population at doing these things, but sometimes good enough is good enough, right? Like if you don't have your own DSLR camera, then maybe what I can do is better than what you could do for yourself. But if not, then
Yeah.
I say just hire whatever photographer you find off Craigslist is probably better than what I could give you. But anyways, that being said, I'm sure as like a startup business owner, which I hope you consider yourself, is that's what you are. Um, What any like pressing matters you think I might seriously be able to help you with?
Um, I'm not too sure because
Uh-huh.
I do a lot of planning.
Yeah.
So unless you can see something that I'm missing,
Mm-hmm. Well, that's
or
perfect. That's
if
what I. Well,
if
I
you had a
know.
better
Well, I
idea.
know last time, and I already mentioned this to you in the thread, right? One of those things we were really considering was Yelp, and your thing was, well, I don't want to put my home address, but I said, well, I've dealt with those issues before, and I found for you the place where they said, well, you don't it doesn't if you don't want to put your home address, they have a solution for you. You just put your service area. Is that anything you've further looked into since we last spoke online?
Yeah, I have my page up, my Yelp page. I set that up already,
Mm-hmm.
and I have, and then I did. Well, like, whenever you set up a business Yelp page, their salespeople will try to sell you on
Oh
ads and
yeah, the
stuff.
worst. They're the worst, man. All I could say is don't fall for it, dude.
I ended up like,
Oh my
yeah,
god.
I only did it for like a couple days.
See, I could have saved you $500 or whatever the hell they're charging you per month now with
Well,
Yelp.
I don't think I'm gonna be charged because it's like it's based on how many ad clicks you get, and then they show like your budget and all that. But yeah.
Yeah, man, don't fucking. Dude, the Yelp people are the worst because when you get a call and they say I'm from Yelp, well, of course you're gonna take that call.
I did know that they were trying to sell me on
Well,
something, but
fuck, man, that's what I'm here for, bro. Like, I could save you money as much as I can help you make
yeah,
money. Jesus
after those
Christ.
couple days, I just like, well, they didn't, they, they, I could tell. I mean, there were services that I wanted, but I feel like it was too early, so I
You
might
don't want
use
any of
you.
their bullshit, man.
Yeah.
Trump. I mean, look, man,
Well,
like,
I'll look into my options,
I'm
and
gonna
if it's
tell you
feasible
something. Never
financially, then
have I
I'll.
once met somebody who has been like, Omar, I'm so glad that Yelp person called me because, God damn it, if this wasn't the best 500, no, never. I've never once heard someone been like, I'm so glad that Yelp person called me and everything they said just. No, man. For Yelp to benefit you, you do not have to pay. Not one dime. Not one. You think like, okay, let me ask you
Yeah.
this. What like we all use Yelp, right? Like we all use
Yeah.
Yelp for the same reason is to figure out the good companies from the shitty companies, and we all use Yelp to see a not just if they have 5-star reviews, but how many reviews, because
Yeah.
we're all not stupid people, and we know that you can pay for reviews. So, well, like a company with 1,000 reviews is better than a company with 100. So we kind of like, and also a company with 1,000 reviews but averages 3.5 stars might still be worth a shot, right? Because
I
obviously,
mean, that means they have a lot of
obviously, yeah,
customers.
obviously they got some bad reviews, but people still fucking go there. So maybe it's
Like
what.
those dim sum restaurants.
Yeah,
They all have like
exactly.
three
It's like,
stars
yeah,
because they're
yeah.
the best.
Maybe they might not mop their floors, but hey, if the dim sum tastes good, who cares, right? Like, I don't know. I mean, like, look, I've always been a big fan of B restaurants. Like, I will only go to B restaurants because I feel like the A restaurants, I distrust them, Like, they're a little bit too clean. When someone's too clean, I don't trust them. Like, those Asian restaurants that are, like, dirty enough to be like, well, they're dirty enough for
If
me to
there's like
think they're.
cockroaches, me.
Yeah, I mean, there's a line you draw where like they're so filthy that you're like, I can't eat here. But there's that. That's why I say B restaurants. B restaurants I will
I
go
think a
to
lot of it
all day
mostly has
long.
to do with the food temperature that they get bees.
Yeah, you think so? Yeah, I thought it might have had something to do with like that dead rat over there. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, that's a bad attempt at a joke. You didn't laugh. I mean,
Oh,
I'm the one.
I'm not always receptive to jokes. I don't know the context.
Okay, well, okay, no, that's a good point though. Like you don't know what you don't know. You would need a marketing specialist like me to go in, ask you what you're doing to figure out what you're not doing that you could be doing, right?
Mhm.
So now you do have that Yelp page up, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's huge.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's
I did
fucking
tell my friends
huge.
to take a look at it.
That's fucking huge. even bigger, and I know your personality may have a hard time being pushy, but is like reminding all your friends that you have served, reminding all your customers, hey, like if you have something, like you don't even need to be begging for good reviews. Just ask for a review, period, right? Ask for a review. I don't know if these go against their guidelines, like to be like ask for a review, but I think like if you're saying, hey, whether you had a good or a bad time, please,
Well, I mean,
yeah.
there's restaurants that already incentivize reviews by offering free something or
Yeah, well, that's against their guidelines, and
yeah.
even though like they know we do it, and we know they know we do it, you at least like gotta
There's
can't
too much to
you can't treat look you
enforce.
can't treat them like they're stupid, look, trust me, they're willing to look the other way. You just can't be blatant about it. I mean, like you actually can be blatant about it, but I'm just saying like
Just
y-
don't get on
do
their radar.
yeah do your no, there are a lot of ways to like actually like navigate and not violate the rules. And I don't. They're always
Well, they
changing.
have their own
Yeah.
filtering system
Right. They
too.
like they often filter out honest reviews too. So I mean, it's just something you have to live with. But as
And from new users too, like people who haven't reviewed, they do.
yeah, exactly. But I'm saying that that doesn't change the fact that you as the business owner need to and should be proactive on ask or encouraging people to leave reviews. Like you don't have to incentivize good reviews, right? Like you
I,
have to.
I I don't want to incentivize good reviews because I like honest feedback.
Exactly. We're honest people, okay? That's more than I can say for like a lot of business owners, you know.
Yeah, but I also understand that feedback is often biased on these kinds of websites.
Mhm.
It's either like really good or really bad and less of the in between.
And you know what's interesting about that is I've read, and I even agree with this, but after I read it, I definitely agreed with it that usually like the mid reviews, like the ones that give someone 3 or 4 stars, are the most honest ones. Like they actually like break down the best. Oh, here's the pros, here's the
That's
cons,
basically
right?
what I do a lot.
Yeah. Well, either way, I mean, I think that's big that you even got the Yelp page up. I think the only thing I would have to say about that is make sure that somehow you're encouraging. We don't want to directly incentivize, but dude, we're not going to stop them from.
I just tell people like just check out my Yelp page and then I'll tell them how to find it or just what to search.
Okay, what could we do like additional to just check it out? I mean, like here's one. A lot of people, a lot of restaurants I've seen say like check in for like a free Coke, something very cheap for you to give, and it forces the customer to
To
go to the
interact.
Yelp to
Okay.
interact, right? It's not directly asking for a good review, but it's like kind of implied, you know what I'm saying? It's like, hey man, just go check in. I'll give you a free this. It's a very strong and subtle kind of push it, but you completely like, you if the guy was secret shopper for Yelp, he would have no reason to, not knock you for that. But still a customer, unless the customer's a total asshole, right? They'll kind of understand, well, I'm getting something for free. I should leave them a good review later. But it at least connects their brain with the fact you have a Yelp and they checked in. And I don't know if the check in really does much for visibility, but the connection's there, right?
Well, if other people visit the your page, then they'll see people checked in too. So
So I think I like that idea because the checking in is very passive. Most people do it and no problem. If they want to give a review later, sure, I'm sure the visibility is, better than nothing, right? People will see them check in if they're using Yelp. But all right, for your website, what were you planning there other than, the basics, just your menu?
well, originally, like I've just seen other restaurant websites, and then it's just like a intro, and then it's like basic contact and also the menu and ordering.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I was just looking at different website builders and what features they have that are good for food sales.
Okay, okay. Well, let me ask you this: do you have a pen and notepad handy right in front of you? If you
Right.
don't, that's okay. I don't want you to grab it because that will be reason for you to let me post this so you can come back and look at it later.
I have, yeah, I write notes a lot of what I need to do, so I do have that.
Okay. Well, you could either write this down or you can let me post this video and go back and watch it. Just kidding. Not really kidding. But either way, no. Do whatever you want. I'm going to I may give you some things that are hard to remember or that are better written down. That's why I ask because I mean, I know certain aspects of web building, especially the ones that pertain to search engine optimization. I'll say I'm somewhat of an expert in this area.
Yeah. I saw a lot of the website builders like under each page section they'll
Yeah.
have like a SEO. It's like what do you want the search to look like and all that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's important to a certain degree, right? And a lot of this is like will just require either A, you learning a lot, or B, like someone like me could just to kind of tell you what you need to know. I mean, same with anything really. Like let's say, I mean, only because I know fitness too, I can use fitness as an analogy. Let's say you are trying to achieve a certain body or fix something about your body, right? You could go and research and say, how do I grow muscle? How do I get my pecs bigger? How do I get my arms bigger? How do I get my legs or my butt bigger? And oh, how do I do a squat? Oh, how do I do a bench press, right? You can
Mm.
spend a lot of time learning these exact things, and all the information is out there. All the information is free, versus maybe I'll hire a personal trainer for a couple sessions, see how as it goes. The personal trainer can be like, all right, man, Darren, you said you want to gain this much muscle. You say you want to get a bigger chest. All right, we're going to hit the bench press, hit the squats. Oh, you're doing the squat wrong. You're doing the bench wrong. So there's same thing for marketing. You could go learn trial and error, or you got me here. I could tell you exactly
Yeah.
what to
Well, I
do.
mean, the
Right. Yeah.
difference is that you don't necessarily know how competent someone you're hiring
I
is.
mean, no, that's not different. It's about the same for everything.
Yeah.
You don't know if one trainer at LA Fitness is better than the next. I mean, unless you've done a full due diligence of his background, how many clients he's had, looked at all his credentials, his reviews. And that being said, so a brand new trainer could just be just as good, if not
As
perhaps
yourself.
better, um, as someone. No, I'm not even like training. I may or may not be the best. I don't have that much personal training experience. Personal training is just something that I did for a portion
You're
of my
into.
life. I learned some shit. I actually look the part really well, which actually makes people overestimate how much knowledge I have. For example, when I started training, it was just as easy for me to get clients as it is now because I've always been in good shape. I've always looked the part of a trainer. I've always actually had a better body than probably the majority of the trainers at any given gym. So I'm the first one to say that like I might look the part, but there's people that don't look the part that know 10 times more than me. I'll be the
Yeah.
first one to say that for any field. So you kind of literally do not judge a book by its
You
cover.
can also look
Yeah.
the part and also not know what you're doing because
Exactly.
I have a friend who's a like bodybuilding type, but he's probably not the best teacher.
Agreed. Like they might have been a meathead, worked out for 20 years, but they couldn't fucking teach you how to squat worth anything. Cause
They know how to do it
yeah,
themselves, but not how to teach others. Yeah.
exactly. So therein kind of lies the crux when you're trying to judge a coach or a guru. There's a lot of things to consider. Is like, well, A, can you walk the walk? And B, well, even if you can't walk the walk, are you able to teach others how to walk the walk? So it's for everything in life, man. Like be careful who you listen to and who you follow. So anyway, that's why I'm saying write down what I have to say. Don't write it down. Either way, I'll say what I have to say. Well, one man. You start from all right, you get your menu on there, right? But what we really want is new orders, right? New business,
Yeah.
and for your case, new local business, right? Who care? Or what kind of food are you gonna be making, by the way?
Uh, Overall, it's basically Asian flavors and things, either traditional Asian foods that aren't very accessible in the area, or foods that have some sort of Asian flavor incorporated in it.
Okay, so when you say incorporated, what, or is this some kind of fusion or
Yeah, yeah. So
okay,
like I don't mind saying this because no one is even doing it and hasn't been
even
doing it.
better? Yeah.
Like Thai, I've been thinking of doing fries with Thai curry, with like red Thai curry. I love that. I love that kind of curry, but no one even really puts it on fries for some reason.
Ooh. Why, dude? Man, I'll be your first customer, man. Cause I love curry and I love fries. Why wouldn't you put two things that you love
They've done
together?
Indian curry and maybe even like Japanese curry, which is more similar to gravy.
Well, you know, with the hat, I mean, they literally put chili on top of the fries, right? I mean, I don't see why putting curry on top of
Yeah,
fries
I
would
don't
be
know why
too much
people haven't
different,
done it
right?
either. I've seen like very small glimpses. One at, you've heard of like the 626 night market?
Yeah, yeah, I've been to
Yeah,
like a
I
couple of
saw
those. Yeah.
one instance of that, but it was just kind of mediocre, the execution. So I feel like I can make that really good. Or it doesn't even have to be that complicated. It's a simple combination, but people aren't don't seem to do it.
Well, dang, man. I mean, I already think that's gonna be a huge hit. You should just do that and run with it. And if
Well, I'm
that,
testing it this week, so
okay. Damn. All right. That's all I can say. I mean, you got all right. I guess my main point with that exercise is well, look, I don't even think though the website will be that beneficial to you in the long run because of how social things have gotten in the last 10 years,
mm,
especially with restaurants, especially with startup restaurants. Like I'll, I may have like briefly mentioned this when I was responding to you over text and on the Facebook group. I know we had maybe private chatted even a little bit outside of the group, but I like using my girlfriend as an anecdote. Like all I don't get out too much. I'm heavy introvert, you know. Like you might get the wrong impression of me because I'm out there trolling Facebook and just hardcore just trolling it.
I mean, if you're on
But
Facebook, you're probably if you're on Facebook, I wouldn't say you're an extrovert unless you say certain things, like
true.
the
By
way you
by
say
by nature, it's like if you're on Facebook, that might already mean that you're somewhat introverted because you're trying to. Anyway, that's a topic for another day.
Mm.
Well, that being said, I'm an introvert and about the most introvert of introverts. So that I say that because I don't get out much. I don't like, I don't know like the
You don't
next.
socialize
Yeah, I
too.
don't know. Like I don't talk to people. I don't know. So I only find out exciting new restaurants as my girlfriend. She's on Instagram and Snapchat, and all the new places that we end up going are because she saw it on Instagram, or she saw someone tag it, and that's how I find new things because she saw them on Instagram. So I'm sitting here like, well, I guess Instagram is the place to be if you're new anything, especially restaurants. You know, so that's why I say, look, man, I somewhat feel like an old man, quote unquote, in the marketing world because while I'm consider myself an SEO specialist, while I feel like I can rank anyone for anything to the top spot on Google, that's just not that valuable. To certain businesses, it's still super valuable. To other businesses,
I
like
think it
a
depends on your demographic.
yeah, that's true, man. That's absolutely. I'm not saying like that skill is worthless, but I'm saying that like I have a lot of this skill in the website, but my real answer is like website just has to be there. You know, you
You just have
can't.
to have the basics there
Yeah,
so
yeah,
people can find you
yeah,
however
yeah,
they find you.
yeah. I'm just saying that like the website isn't gonna make or break you. I think your social media is gonna make or break you, and that you
Okay.
already know. In that, it's like it's just organic and time
Would
will
you say
tell.
Yelp is social media?
Yeah, Yelp.
Okay.
Yelp. I would put under the umbrella of social media. I mean, Yelp is so much important. It's actually on its own category because social media has competitors, right? Like if you get banned from Instagram, I'm just making a hypothetical, not that you ever would, but if you got banned from Instagram, you literally still have TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, and what did I say? Twitter. You got a few options, right? Even though Instagram is like the right now, like kind of like the granddaddy of getting popular. If you're a restaurant, I mean, you still have some other options. Yelp, there really isn't a competitor. There really are a monopoly.
That's what they try to sell me on.
Yeah, yeah. At the same time, though, Yelp is a free service, and the ads do you very little as a startup. So, so it's like what, I would be like, well, what? You guys are only so good because you're free. Why would, I mean, what's the difference? I start now or later. The Yelp representative has no way to realistically judge. What if I say to the Yelp representative, okay, I only have $1,000 this month. In your honest, objective opinion, what is the best way to spend this $1,000? And they're unable to. In their mind, they're already brainwashed to think that they're the best shit in the world. They're unable to say, well, Darren, let me think about this. Well, we could expand our menu. We could test out a few different items. Or we could just dump all this fucking money into Yelp. There's all this bullshit that you could do outside of Yelp, but they are incapable of thinking of anything outside of what they're trying to sell you and slam down your throat. I mean, look, I say if you have a $10,000 marketing budget, sure, throw 500 into Yelp. But usually we're operating with like $100 to $1,000 of marketing budget, total budget. And it's like, it doesn't, when you get Yelp for free, it doesn't make sense to spend any money on it.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Well, now after having the ads run for like 3 days, I realize what else I would need to have to make it even somewhat, like, what do you call it? Somewhat useful.
yeah, man, and you kind of feel like the Yelp person lied to you in a way because they probably did.
Or they didn't, I feel like they probably didn't know the whole picture
They know the
either
whole
way.
fucking picture. You think they got hired there because they're stupid? No, no,
Well, they're
man.
salespeople, so
Exactly.
they
And
won't tell you
why
what they don't want you to
that's
know.
what pisses me off about salespeople. Like, not disclosing everything you know is tantamount to fucking lying. It's pretty much exactly the definition of lying. That's why I hate salespeople. I hate, I used to be in that profession. It ate my soul.
And they always pressure you. Like, you're like, I'm gonna give me like a week, and then they just like, why don't we do this or something? Yeah. But it's okay. The ad budget, the amount that was spent is like $30, so I don't mind that.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I got suckered in. I guess I don't even want to talk about it. It was like $900 that I didn't even think was gonna get charged. Anyways, that's a story for another day. Whatever. I have a bad experience with Yelp. Let's just put it that way. As well as most of the people I talk to. Okay, I'm not.
Well,
Don't even get me
I hear
started.
about how restaurants, they don't like that they keep wanting you to pay to be at the top or something.
Okay, well, forget we beat this Yelp horse to
Yeah.
death, I think. So, tell me something else positive, man. So we talked. You were like, hey, man, might drop you off some food. I'm like, nah, man. If I get it, I'm gonna pay for it. What has happened since the last couple weeks since we talked?
Well, I think mostly I've been looking into ways to market myself. Like, just, I don't know if I told you this,
Mm-hmm.
but I just like have to I think my food is good enough that I just have to put it in front of people, and then they'll see why they should buy it.
Yes and no. I mean, if it's good, they're just gonna eat it, and then you're gonna be
Yeah,
left with no
or
marketing.
yeah. Well,
I
like
mean,
they'll know why it's worth paying for.
okay, well, look, man, I'll say this. On the one hand, I'll say I have zero experience marketing restaurants, right? But then I think about it. Well, I've actually been a server and a waiter at a restaurant, as well as a busboy for 1 or 2 years of my life, right? I'm 37 years old this year, okay? But I've been an eater of food for my entire life, at least 3 meals a day for however many days 37 years is, okay? So in that respect, I'm a very experienced consumer of the thing that you're trying to make, okay? That's another joke that you didn't laugh at. You almost figured out that was a joke. That's why I'm not a stand-up comedian, okay? I'm just saying I have a lot of experience at eating food. Little did you know I used to be an overweight kid, okay? I've had a couple
Mm.
overweight stages in my life. I mean, no one
I
would
did too.
yeah, no one would
Not
believe
not
you, you
too
know?
overweight, but
Yeah, or
just not not
I
not as
mean, I want
anymore.
to say, you know what, man? Yeah, like I don't know how to call myself because like I don't want to call myself fat when that's probably what I was. like look, man, I've been at a place in my life like my mid to late 20s. I let myself go, right?
Mhm.
I'm like well over 200 pounds at this point. I think if you're an Asian male of average height and you're over 200 pounds, you're probably overweight. Okay, I've not
Well,
seen.
if you're Asian, then it's the stereotype is to be thinner on average.
Yeah, I'm
So
just saying, man. I was at 200 something pounds, looking at myself sideways in the mirror, like asking myself, am I fat? Like, and I've come to this conclusion, like, if you ever have to like question yourself, like, am I? You're probably fat, man. You are, yeah. Like, but yeah,
if
you
you have to
don't.
convince yourself you're not, I
You
suppose.
don't. What I'm saying is, dude, like it sounds funny now, man, but those are really like the questions that are in my head at that because you don't just get there overnight, like you start out being kind of muscular,
Yeah.
and then you gain a little bit of weight, but then you can kind of
You
suck
can
it.
tell when other people comment on it.
Yeah, but who's gonna say that to you? Really? Like who's gonna
You're if you're
fucking
Asian, your family.
That's true. Yeah, but like really I didn't see my family all that often. I had one grandma and one aunt that lived nearby and you know, I didn't even visit them that often for them. And she was going blind too, so it's like she really would have to be like feeling me to. And actually, you know what? They have said that before to me, which is pretty sad. When they actually had no business when
Every
I
Asian family does that.
I'm saying, look, man, I'm saying I was asking when I was like 200 something pounds. Okay. I'm saying in the last couple of years, I've gone over and even my aunt, I'd be like freaking like 175 or 180, just chiseled with 10-15% body fat. And she would like or she would see me with a t-shirt on so she couldn't see that I'm actually pretty cut. But she would like, just based on my size and she said, "Oh, I think you're gaining weight. You need to lose some weight." I'm like, "What the fuck? I have like 10%." Never mind. That's a story for another day too. But I'm just saying, I agree with you. Yeah, your parents and your family, they will tell you, especially the Asians. And sometimes, like when I bring American friends over to my aunt's house, she's I don't want to say how old she is. That's kind of not right. But I mean, she's older than me. Anyways, she's old school. And then like she'll just, like, damn, man, like if she, like she'll just be like rude, like how else can I say it? Just like if like I don't can't think of a literal example, but like kind of literally, if someone's fat, she might just be like, "Oh, you're kind of heavy," like just like what the fuck? That's my friend. Like she hasn't said that
Like no
specific.
filter,
Yeah, but she
basically.
hasn't said that specific insult, but things like close to that. Like, well, I won't bring any friends over anymore. I mean, it's not worth it, really. I mean, I think
Okay.
yeah, I kind of have to trust you too if I do bring you over. So it kind of means that we already have a kind of relationship that can't be broken. So it's almost like if I do bring you over, it's like, well, whatever, man. You're part
You
of the
don't
family
care.
anyways already. So there is that. But anyways, man, let's see. How can we help you out? Especially given I have zero experience in that startup restaurant marketing industry. Maybe we could think of some crazy marketing ideas that you weren't already
Well, I
thinking of.
was planning to like since my I have like the desserts, these two panna cotta desserts that
Mhm.
are Halloween themed. I was planning
Mhm.
to do a giveaway on Saturday,
Mhm.
and I kind of have it somewhat planned out, but I'm not sure if that will go down if based on what happened this morning with the fires in Orange County, that area,
Dang,
it
man,
left a
that's
bunch of ash.
where have I been? I didn't even know about this. What the
It
what?
left, yeah, I had to go. I had a doctor's appointment this morning, and I ended up going to the hospital to get blood drawn. And then I noticed it was like a layer of ash on my car when I went. So I'm not sure if that'll be. I mean, I mean, also the whole coronavirus thing too,
Mhm.
plus the fire ash thing might not work out.
Hmm.
I might have to cancel that.
So what was the whole giveaway? What was the plan?
It was basically to make it like a trick or treat kind of thing where I would have a table set up at like a at a park or something, and
Mhm.
then I would just have a bunch of small little sample size, like about maybe a third size of a normal portion to just give away, and then also like make it look kind of Halloween themed, and also promote have my like social media and all that information available so they can find me on so they yeah so after they try it they can see how to find me, and if they like my stuff they can uh buy something.
Okay, no, I really like that, except for the only thing I would want is that like I think the benefit of all that is the content that you would get from recording it. And then and I assume you know what I like I said I don't get out much. Can you explain to me what a panna cotta is to begin with, and that's like an Italian
It's
name it sounds
yeah,
like.
it's a dessert from Italian origin. It means like cooked cream. So basically it's like cream and a little bit of gelatin. So it's a little bit like pudding,
Mhm.
except pudding uses egg, I think, and
Okay.
then so the texture is like it's like cream and sugar basically
Yeah.
with a little gelatin for like the jello-like texture. It's very delicate.
Okay, and I'll just say I guarantee you there's like a whole group of people that would just be enough and they would be like say no more, I'm gonna buy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's your audience, right? Like
Yeah.
the people that already love desserts, which pretty much everybody. I mean,
A lot of people.
yeah.
I
So
personally don't really like I don't dislike desserts, but if I eat desserts, they're generally not as sweet.
mhm. So are you making desserts that you like, or are you just making desserts that you know other people will like?
I would only sell something that I would eat.
Okay, gotcha. So I guess are you saying that these aren't like your super sweet kind of desserts or
Yeah, they're pretty light
okay.
on the sugar
Okay,
compared
gotcha.
to your average dessert.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Especially like American desserts, they're full of sugar.
Well, I think that this has a lot of everything I'm hearing is good. Like you sound like someone who's passionate about what you're doing and you're making things that you yourself like, which I think are the number one and two things really that like sometimes success needs a little bit of luck, right? But I think you have
Mhm.
the two best ingredients, which is the passion for it. Like you're not doing this with some grandiose sense
Yeah,
of becoming a
that's why I
billionaire,
decided to
right?
do this because I felt like I could be motivated enough because because I could talk about food all day.
Mm-hmm.
So if I did something with food, then like talking about it all day and working with it all day. So why not?
Awesome. Okay, well let's go back specifically and maybe try to formulate some feasible things you can do rather than just discuss
Okay.
theory, right? And so let's say I was gonna do this event, right? I'm actually thinking about something similar because I'm starting a posture-based fitness course, right? So I'm thinking about the same things you are, how do I gather a group of people, you know? And I'm thinking about places like Venice Beach, where if I do like a little kind of mock show with some of my team, right? Where is a place where naturally there will be people, so I can like film it for content and stuff, right? So I think you might be thinking of, well, where could I set up where there will naturally be people where I can either sell or give away my product, right?
Hmm.
And have you settled on a location, or were you still thinking of it given current events that
I
happen?
have I had a tentative location, but I was going to look around a little bit more just to see if there's another place that I like more.
Okay. All right. And what's your top one or two spots so far?
Right now I was thinking Rosemead Park because it's
Okay.
not too far from the freeway
Okay. Okay. And that's gonna be when did you say
on
on?
Halloween
So
on
that's Saturday,
Saturday.
right? You know what? I'll get this episode up by tonight once we're over. The link to whatever location that Darren decides for Cafe D, or what's the full name of your restaurant? Is it
Well,
just
it's not a
Cafe D,
restaurant, but
or it
cafe,
is a restaurant?
I guess
I
so.
don't care. I don't care if the restaurant is your garage or if the restaurant is just a concept in your head.
Well, the
You, my
concept's
friend,
already
are a
there.
restaurant owner, okay?
When I have an actual physical restaurant, the name is already there. But it's well, it'll be red. Well, I've looked into it, and Cafe D is not registered, so I'm looking into registering that.
And you know what?
And
Even if it was registered, fuck them. It's still gonna be. I'm just kidding.
I will also, well, I can also just extend the name
Exactly. It can
legally.
be Cafe
Well, Cafe
D.
D, it's an acronym actually. The
Okay.
cafe part, it stands
Okay.
for Collective Asian Flavor Experience.
I think that is the most interesting thing you've told me so far.
Okay.
Because like who? No, I'm big into names, and if your name has meaning, man, that's huge. That's huge.
Yeah,
Cafe
I took a
Asian.
while to figure out a
Say that
name.
again. What experience? Cafe Asian. What experience?
Uh, Collective
Collective
Asian Flavor
Asian flavor. Oh,
Experience.
that's
Like
beautiful.
collective just means from all parts of Asia, and then Asian flavor is like my main like taste point, and then experience. It worked with the name with
It,
the acronym.
and then is underscore D for Darren or what?
Hmm? The
Is
D.
yeah.
My friend. Well, technically it is. It's like a part of. It's like my initial, but also my friends that was helping me like come up with. Well, not come up, but what like give his thoughts on my name. He said it could also stand for dimensions, which is like because dimensions just means it's like different dimensions of Asian flavors too. So
Could anybody in the future convince you to just keep it as cafe? Just because that, there,
well,
if you've already settled on Cafe D, fine. I give my blessing. I'm just saying,
well,
man.
cafe. How would I? The problem with that is I think it's too generic of a name.
No, it's so generic. It's
No, it
beautiful.
is generic, but
It's so generic. It's
how would I
beautiful.
set up like
Who
my
cares?
Instagram handle and Facebook and all that? Because it just I feel like if I search cafe, how is my uh how is my page going to show up?
Good questions, right? Good questions. It doesn't really change the fact that you have a very good reason to just call it cafe, right? Because after you tell me the meaning behind that and the definition, I don't care for anything else after cafe, right? Like you could still put underscore whatever, 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 right? But that,
Well, I
like
could
that,
just
yeah,
make it I can keep the D, but make it not as prominent in my
yeah. Maybe,
marketing.
maybe you roll with that, right?
But
Yeah,
I'm still open to ideas,
man.
but
You
as
know
for now,
what?
I think that's
You
a
know
good
how you
enough.
get away with it in all your you could spell it out, right? There's probably not enough characters in Instagram to spell out. I can't even remember what the first word stands
Yeah,
for.
that's also concern too.
But no,
'Cause
it's not because that's what it is because that's what you say it is and that's what it's called.
it's a
Okay?
little too long. Some people will not remember what the
Okay.
acronym stands for.
You know, cafe underscore D just because cafe is taken, but for
Yeah,
Instagram,
exactly.
but I'm saying like on your sign, I mean like man, just the beauty just to have C period
Yeah,
A
I in my
period
sign I
F
could
period
just
E.
put the cafe as
Yeah, it
I
doesn't
could
even like
make that prominent.
I just feel like that has so much more of a powerful story just to be like cafe. Yeah, I don't know, man. Don't
But if you see just the word cafe without the whole acronym, if you don't know what the acronym is, then it just looks like a basic cafe. It's like,
No, no, it will look such like the basic cafe. Dude, you don't even understand how great this is
it'll
gonna be.
appeal to the basicness.
You don't even know how great this is, bro. Like
I know what you're saying
you don't
because
even know how beautiful the basicness is, man.
I know what you're talking about because I have an issue with like being basic because I'm not very basic.
Yeah, I'm just saying, dude, it's so basic. It's beautiful. You're like you can't understand the beauty of this. Like it's just like
I'll see how that works out though, but as for now, I think it's not that far
you know
off.
what? Like look at the Apple logo, man. There's just like
I
beauty
think
and
that will be
simplicity,
more
okay?
prominent if I have a bigger if I have some reputation and
Yeah.
then
Don't worry about
it'll
this. We're arguing about things that don't matter.
yeah.
Don't listen to me.
Okay.
Don't listen to me. I tend to get stuck on this one. Really, this doesn't matter in the big picture.
Well, there's
Yeah.
many aspects of having your own
I've
business.
just wasted about 15 minutes of your time talking about something that I've just figured out that doesn't even matter.
It's fine.
But okay, beyond that, all right, if I was going to do an event where likely I'm gonna have to give away a lot of free product, and I'm assuming these people are gonna eat this wonderful free product and have amazing reactions to it, right? Because if
Yeah.
they're not, then I need to rethink what I'm doing in the first place, right? But if
Yeah.
everything happens the way we think it's gonna happen, and they're like, "Oh my God, this is the best panna cotta or whatever you make that I've ever tasted," then I'm gonna want to get this on film because
Yeah.
losing that is a loss of marketing opportunity because
So just find a way to record it, even maybe like a snippet. Like, well, you were telling me before that if you were gonna try something of mine, you wouldn't mind like recording yourself eating it and reacting to it.
yeah, because you know like hey, it's like dude, brother was offering to bring me over some for free. I'm like, well, first of all, I would pay you one way or the other, okay? My girlfriend wouldn't let me just take free food from a hustling young entrepreneur like yourself. Secondly, like absolutely, because I think that is the biggest thing that anybody could give you, me or anyone else, random person, influencer, you know, them recording a genuinely good reaction eating your food is about the best gift anybody could give you. You know, so what you need is to get someone, a friend, a hustling young video editor
Find
that
someone with
yeah.
some kind of influence.
No, not even
No,
that. No. You just need someone with a camera, and if
okay.
someone doesn't have a camera, then you give them your
Use my
iPhone,
own.
yeah, and say record me. But like I would offer. I mean, I do offer, but it's like I might have something to do. You know, like if you hit me up and say, "Hey Omar, it's gonna be tomorrow. It's here. It's near your place," then like I might actually go. But it's like it's like a half day commitment of somebody's time versus like an hour here or like 10 minutes answering a question. It's a big chunk out of someone's potential weekend to be like. So I'm saying, but that is like if you're gonna do that, you have to record it. Otherwise, I think you waste a lot, right? I'm not saying you're wasting your time per se, but it could be
It'll
yeah.
enhance my marketing, I
Yeah,
suppose. Yeah.
it's like a lot of the things that you want to be doing, right? Like like you could get like maybe, 2 or 3 hours worth of raw video, right? And not all of that 2 hours is going to be good. Then you can cut
You
that.
only need like a 10-second clip. or
Yep.
something.
So yeah, what you do with your event is you use that to make your demo reel. So now you have like, a minute long YouTube video to play, on YouTube. And then from all that, like you said, you also cut little 5-second snippets here and there. And then you have Instagram content for the next 1 to 2 months, depending on how often you post, right? And so,
Haven't thought that much into that yet.
well, and on top
Yeah.
of that, you can take literal screenshots of your event to supplement these videos, and now you have content for 3 to 4 months, right? But it's
Yeah.
of one event. People don't so. But the thing is like a lot of things people are gonna tell you is, oh, post this, post that, post that. You're like, well, what do I have? These
Yeah,
are the
I see a
yeah.
lot of Instagram people, they use old content. So,
Exactly. Well, like you'll be using content from this event 3 months from now, right? That's why you see old content. But so you just learn to have more of these things on a schedule. Maybe you do this kind of event once a month. You invite your videographer friend out once a month. A photographer even, a guy that does both. Any friend can be your videographer, right? iPhones are so good these days. People can't even tell the difference between iPhone video or DSLR video.
yeah.
So literally, you just need a couple friends. I guarantee you, if you ask on the Asian Hustle Network, you say, "Hey guys, just need a couple people come out. You need one person to just take videos and photos for me, even if it's on their iPhone. If you don't have an iPhone, I'll give you mine to use." That's literally all you need for your marketing department, quote unquote. And now you'll have content to cut up. And let's say you have this big long video. Let's say you have like 4 or 5 videos now on your iPhone, anywhere from a minute to 20 minutes long because they're just recording random stuff. And let's say you don't know how to video edit. Maybe you do a little bit and you do it yourself. But now you can take all these videos, put them in a folder, upload the folder, and then now maybe you can think, okay, well, with that stupid 500 budget I already wasted, maybe I could give $100 to a video editor and cut this up or whatever. Like I said, there's tons more better ways for you to
Yeah.
spend a $500 marketing budget than to pay $30 a click for like a Yelp page that doesn't even convert so great, right? Like you already know, like, are you going to go to a restaurant that has like 1 5-star review? You're going to be like, I don't know about that guy.
Yeah.
You're going to wait until he's got, 20 or 30 reviews and it averages 4.5 stars or above. So it's like, I would have been the first one to tell you driving traffic to like a blank Yelp page is literally wasting money, literally just
Yeah,
burning money.
because there's no reason for you to buy
Yeah, I
from
mean,
an
like,
empty Yelp page.
like you could have reasoned through that yourself, but they talk so fast and they hard close you so fast that you don't have
Yeah.
a chance to think. Yeah, I might have a big problem with that. So, I mean, go back to my post that you first maybe met me on. Like, I literally, why do you think I really got out of sales, man? It
Yeah.
literally ate my soul. Like, to be successful, yeah, you pretty much trade your soul for success, right? I ran out of soul. I have no more. So, yeah, that's a joke too. You're supposed to laugh. Okay. God
I
damn
I
it.
had a mini chuckle.
Yeah, I know,
Mini
man.
mini chuckle.
I'm definitely not gonna be a stand-up comedian. Well, what else, man? Like, I haven't really given you too much, but I feel like I do have a lot to give. I'm trying to think. I'm trying not to just give you bullshit that you and I already know is not gonna work for your industry, or things that you've already been doing.
Well, that was like kind of the part of the thing going into this podcast where
Yeah.
I was like I wasn't sure what I wanted,
Mm-hmm.
what questions I wasn't sure what kind of questions I would have.
What day were you planning on? Oh, you already said Halloween. Is this gonna be in
Yes.
the morning or?
Afternoon. I was planning it from 2 to 4.
Mm-hmm. And then Rosemead Park. Where is that exactly? I've
It's like off Rosemead Boulevard. You go. Like
Is
a
it
couple minutes
north of
from the
Is it
freeway
north of the 10 or south of the 10?
north.
North of the 10. What's the closest intersection?
Uh, it's off. It's between like Lower Azusa and what's Mission, I think. It's like wedged between. It's on that block on Encinita.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and yeah, it's
Okay.
not too far from the freeway.
Okay. If you have your event right and you're there, I can at the very minimum say that I'll go visit with my girlfriend unless for the reason like she's scared of getting COVID, she just doesn't want to leave the house that day. But
Yeah.
and so I'll be able to go there, and if you sell out, then you sell out. But if you have some product that's picture worthy, I can give you some photography for the time that I'm there. I'm not going to guarantee to stay there to get all these people, but and
Yeah.
I'll
At this point, I'm not even sure how the turnout will be because
yeah.
I have to post in. I had to figure out. I was planning to post for on Tuesday or Wednesday on into like different Facebook groups and on social media and stuff to advertise
Mhm.
the event.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Have you done anything that has been successful so far? Have you been growing at least a little bit with just friends and family?
Well, the only people I've sold to one non person that wasn't in my circle already, and then the rest have been people. The one was someone that I've gave food to before I even had the consideration of selling food, and they own a restaurant, and then two of and then sold to two other people, no, three other people. Two of them were people who did taste testing for me,
Mhm.
like I like recipe testing, and they liked it. And then, but I even adjusted it more, and then they liked that version even more. That they paid, or one friend paid me already. Just one friend gave me money for my testing for the test product.
Mhm.
He thought it was good enough, and my other friend um, ended up buying my final product a couple times.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you have like all and I want you to keep me on this list since I'm asking you for it. But do you have a list, whether it's, oh, these Facebook people or these people, these are their cell numbers or these are their emails, that, these are my core group of friends that live locally that said that they will buy from me. So let's say like you have a batch of panna cottas coming out, right? So something that you could say, hey, friends and family, this Saturday I'm making a batch. I just want to see who wants to pre-order, so that I'm guessing, you get some kind of economies of scale, like if you make
Yeah,
more, right?
I was thinking about that because right now I'm basically making them to order, but on a pre-order level. So it might be like even just two in an order, which takes almost as much time as making like 100.
Okay, so that, I mean,
Yeah.
that's a kind of exactly the point that I'm getting at, is that, look, you don't have a massive list, right? Right? But
No.
I'm saying, hey man, I'll be on that list. I can't guarantee that I will buy every time, but I will say that at least one of those times, man, you might catch me and my girlfriend in the perfect mood, and I'll turn to her and I'll say, hey, should we order from Darren this week? And she'll say yes. I'm saying everybody else is like that. So I'm saying whether,
Yeah,
yeah.
I also don't expect I that was kind of what I had in mind even just for my recipe testing because I would I organize it in a way where I would tell people like, oh, this is gonna occur every however often,
Mhm.
and then I would notify them like maybe a day or two ahead of when the testing product would be ready, and then they could come pick it up. So I would just make a bunch of it at once. So it's like the same concept basically. But
I think you need to put pen to paper and figure out, okay, because I like to keep things simple. I don't like to, if I were in your shoes, I wouldn't want to send out an email and a group text, but you might have to. For example, if like a large percentage of your potential like supporters are like old Asian people that aren't on Facebook, aren't looking at, but they do have their phones, you might have to keep a separate text list and a separate email list, and maybe even make a separate group for your Facebook followers, right? So maybe you be all right, I'm going to keep three
yeah,
lists.
well, they can follow my Facebook page, I suppose,
Look,
where
I'm
I
saying no,
can
that doesn't
update.
work.
No.
No. Following a Facebook page does not work. You need to put these people in an actual Facebook Messenger group where everybody can see what everyone else. So you have two options.
Okay.
You either make a group for your restaurant separate from your page, and get all your best supporters to join this group, or number two, just as good, if not better and more effective, make a messenger group and just add it to the messenger group. Okay,
So
you
it's
could do
like a
both.
community kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah, and you're not expecting more than like 20 or 30 people in this Facebook group, right? So put them all in the same messenger group, whatever, and then just invite them one by one from people who said that they would support you, and then you just message them, because dude, liking your page does nothing. A page is easy to miss.
That kind of sounds like when people have like, if it like people who have like Patreons or something, they're like, oh, you get like exclusive first look into something. It kind of sounds like that.
I mean, yeah, if, exactly. Like this is I mean, this not rocket science, man. It's pretty
Yeah.
much, you do the same for marketing anything, right? But you have to be a little bit proactive and a little bit pushy about certain things to make this work, And this is one of those areas, is grabbing their information, man. Um, these are like, you're kindling for a fire. Like you have to
Yeah.
actively, collect your kindling, right? And then you lay the firewood on top. That's your Yelp and your website, and then pretty soon that thing burns itself, right? But we're in the collecting kindling stage right now. So these friends and families like your kindling, and you got to be a little bit pushy. You got to be like, hey man, could I get your email if to keep you updated for my next batch, right? And if it's people that actually support you and they actually like your food, they'll be like, hey, no problem, man, because they think they're getting a good deal, right? Especially if, like, let's say you sell into everyone else for a certain price and you give all your pre-sale orders a little bit of a discount and make them happy,
That's kind of what I did like
right?
initially. Like I offered my Facebook friends a discount exclusively.
I mean, like you said, look, if you're planning on making some already, and it takes you the same amount of time to make two as it makes you 100, right? Anything your friends and family helps you to get to 100, right? It's a lot of help, right? Because you're spending that time anyways, So like let's say if your friends and family buy 50 off of you, that pays for the next 50 maybe, then you had a good day. That pretty much pays for
Yeah.
your orders for the day, and everything else is profit. That could actually, your friends and family could be the ones to actually help you turn this into something that's not just a big waste of time.
Yeah.
Like they could act, that's what, I mean, I don't want to say the friends and family are there to help, but I mean, that's what they're fucking
Well,
there for.
they know you enough that plus I have like a reputation within my friends that I can make good food. So,
Dude,
yeah,
if you're not going to use
they're
them
the
on
only
your own, let me tell you, fucking
yeah.
use them. That's what they're good for, okay? And we're at dude, did you think we could get an hour? I don't even think we've talked about anything. I mean, damn.
I told you I can talk a lot about things in general.
I mean, you can. Okay, is it okay to post this? I mean, you didn't, I don't even feel like we said that much less anything embarrassing. I mean, I'm sitting here without my shirt on, but I mean, like, that's kind of my thing,
I wasn't sure what we were going to talk about, so
Well, okay, the question and answer session, anything. None doesn't even have to be do about business. What's on your mind? What do you want to
mm,
leave the audience with?
I mean, obviously I would want people to try my food.
Okay, well, okay, remind them again. Where can we find Darren's food?
I suppose
Cafe
well you
D underscore official on
oh
Instagram, right?
that's my Instagram page,
Okay.
and then you can order from my website, which is eatcafed.com. And then yeah, that's I mean,
And where
I
are we gonna
should I
find
offer
you?
some sort of discount for a first time customer?
Can you? I mean, okay, if they mention that they saw you on the Differences You podcast,
I'll give them like
what do they get?
20% off or
God
something.
damn, that's too good of a deal. But I'll hold you to it. All right,
Yeah. I mean,
20%
I'm
off.
not super
What?
concerned with making a big profit in my initial stage. So
20%.
as long as I break even, as long as I'm not losing too much money in the beginning, it's fine.
As long as you're not losing too much money, man. If that was the measure of success for everybody, man, this world would be a much better place. You know?
Well, in
Just
the beginning, eventually I'll have to profit, or else I can't
of,
sustain
of
this. But
course,
right
of
now,
course.
it's not the biggest concern to have a major profit.
Okay, so where could they find you if we do happen to find ourselves in the Temple City area on Halloween Day, October 31st, 2020, Saturday? Where might we find you? Or would it be Rosemead Park or
Yeah, well, I'm planning to be there from 2 to 4. I'm not sure if that will end up happening, but I do have a Facebook event created where you can see. I'll post updates regarding that
o-
in that event.
okay, and then the main dish you're thinking is gonna be your Halloween themed panna cottas?
Yeah, I was also planning to do like a little reveal of another flavor of panna cotta.
Mm. Okay, let me ask you this, some hard questions, okay? What are you planning on selling these for, and what would they cost, if they were seen in a restaurant locally nearby of the same
You mean
quality you're
the
thinking?
sample size
Well,
or the
whatever
regular size?
whatever regular size. What are you selling them for? Because I imagine, I don't know if you're selling
I'm
gonna.
selling them for 450
Uh-huh.
for a 5.5 ounce cup,
Okay.
which is, and I did some price comparison of like panna cotta in the area.
Mm-hmm.
So I think my cup might be slightly smaller, and I also do offer a larger cup, which is almost double the size of
Mm-hmm.
it's 9 ounce versus 5.5,
Mm-hmm.
and that one is $6, and that's around the same price as other panna cotta in the somewhat local vicinity.
Okay. Okay. So you're competitive price wise. How do you feel you measure taste wise?
Taste wise,
Yeah.
well, I think let's say my black sesame one is really, I think that one's a really, I would rate it like 9 out of 10, and
Yeah.
I don't really rate things 10 out of 10 ever.
Yeah, of course. No,
so
that's good. Yeah.
so I find that one to be really really good, and also the people who have tried it find that one to be very very good too.
The black
And then the
sesame,
pumpkin one,
okay, yeah.
I it depends on who likes pumpkin, because the people who have tried it, they tell me they don't like pumpkin, but they also tell me they like how all the elements I put
Mm.
into it go together. So like they
That's like
don't
a
hate it.
compliment, but not really a compliment. So that
Yeah,
one's
but
kind of
I'm not
hard.
sure
Yeah.
what if I would eat it, but I'd probably rate that one like a 7 out of 10
Uh-huh.
for my taste.
Yeah.
But I would still eat it.
But pumpkin lovers are gonna love it for sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
that will definitely appeal. And that was the whole appeal, like the whole Halloween theme. And then I have another flavor that I'm planning. I have a few flavors planned, but I will be testing one this week, and then my plan was to also give some samples of that one. And that one is a more appealing flavored, more generally appealing flavor than the pumpkin one and the black sesame one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this on the flavors, because like I said, I'm pretty inept on just, food as it goes and what's out there. What is black sesame a rare flavor for panna cottas?
Yeah.
Okay,
There are
that's
some
interesting.
recipes
Yeah.
online for it, and but it's like not it panna cotta is generally like a very light flavor, like just vanilla or something very like a very plain, not so heavy flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And black sesame can be quite a heavy flavor, but it's very um, appealing to like a lot of Chinese, Japanese, Taiwanese people.
I mean, I'm telling you, you hit the right influencer on Saturday. You're sold out before anybody even gets there, man. Like, like I look, I don't know anything about food really other, than I eat food, but I don't know much about the food influencer world other than they exist. But I do know enough about life to know that seems like you're doing something new and interesting that not a lot of people are doing. I'm just gonna go ahead and take your word for it that it tastes good, right? All right. So I mean, I literally think, man, like you just put yourself out there, but tag all these influencers, all these Asian local foodie influencers, which there's a ton. Like literally,
I'm sure there are.
there's probably 100 just within like half a mile of me with 10 or 50,000 or more followers, like that you would be happy,
Maybe,
right?
probably.
Not maybe, probably.
It's LA.
Like,
It's also LA,
bro,
so it's
like
yeah.
100,000, used to be a lot, right? But now it's like, dude, you could find 100,000 follower or Instagram or just anywhere within
Even having
this.
10K is somewhat a lot just as a regular.
Yeah. I mean, like you would be fine if someone with 10K, posted on their Instagram. What I'm saying is, I think you just need like just a couple of those. They say, oh my God, look where I'm at this Saturday. I ate one of Darren's panna cottas, and oh my God, it's to die for. And then boom, you're flooded, sold out.
I understand that could happen too
It will.
because
I
it
think
takes
it will
one person. It
happen.
takes
Yeah.
one person with the right influence to change my sales.
For real, man. So I'm saying, just don't expect anything amazing to happen, but that's not to say ignore the basics. The basics are,
That's the luck
yeah,
factor. I think
yeah,
that's the luck factor.
yeah. But here's my take on the luck factor, right? When you get lucky, right, you will know that you were doing all the right things to put yourself in a position to be lucky, right?
Yeah, you
You
have
were
to
right,
like have the infrastructure and everything else too. Like I
right.
have to be able to support all the sales if I were to have that
Mm-hmm.
or sudden burst of sales. And
Exactly.
yeah,
So it's like, look, man, when the influencer just magically comes and you're like, thank the stars, I'm so lucky. Don't forget that you're out there hustling when a lot of your
yeah.
competitors aren't, right? So it's not like, oh, it just magically happened. You're still out there
I
hustling,
understand that too. Like you
right?
just have to do enough that it's more of like an inevitability that something will happen, but maybe not as big as you might expect.
Yep. I mean, that's pretty much exactly. And um, that being said, man, make those lists. I'd say, don't overwhelm yourself, right? If doing three things is too much, just do one of those three things, either
Yeah.
email,
Well, have a list.
text,
So
or
yeah.
Facebook group. And yeah, like I said, if doing all three just seems like too much, then try to put everyone into an email list. Ask everybody, let me get your email, let me get your email, let me get your email. If like one of your friends' grandparents don't have an email, well then I guess you're forced to do email and text. Okay, so start there. I think that's maybe something tangible that I can leave you with that I hope you might do that you weren't doing before. And do I have your permission to upload this? Did you get enough value that you think it might be worth you risking whatever image? And you
Yeah,
might
that's
even
it's fine.
and
That's
you might
fine.
even get some traffic. I'm not saying today, but
Maybe. We'll
really,
see. We'll
but you
see what
know what,
happens.
man? You know what I really think? I don't think anybody's gonna watch this. Really, it's just gonna be
It's fine.
me watching it, and it's gonna have like one view.
If
And
anything,
so,
I gained some advice on what I can do.
okay. Hey, man, that's more than I can say for most people that talk to me. They're like, that guy's full of shit. No, I'm just kidding, man.
I think
Some
everyone
real.
has something to contribute, but it just depends on in what aspect.
There we go. I'm gonna roll out with this song, WAP.
Okay.
There's some whores in this house. There's some whores in this
All right,
house. There's
peace
some
out,
whores
everybody.
in this house.
I said certified freak,
There's some
7 days a week.
house.